So this past weekend, I had a lovely reminder of how absolutely brutal and gruesome the dating world can be. So Joey and I matched on Hinge, that nauseating, sickening app, about 2 months ago in late January, and we're talking, the banter's good, normal, flirty, fun. He asks for my number, we take it to text, things are going great. We plan a date, and that's when I tell my friends, look at this cute guy that I'm going on a date with. And one of my friends is like, Taylor, that is blank blank. So it turns out we had one really great mutual friend in common and so many other mutual friends too. And we didn't know I didn't know who he was, he didn't know who I was, which I kind of preferred. All right, so Joey and I finally meet. The first date goes great. Like 3 hours long, just talking. I mean, whatever. It was a great first date. It was so good, we go on a second date a week later. The date goes so well. I say to my friends, like, I want this guy to be my boyfriend. Like, I like him. So usually when you start seeing people more and getting to know them more, you want to text them more and talk to them more. Things changed with Joey. The more we spent time together, the less he texted me and the more inconsistent it got. And all my friends are like, Taylor, like, it's kind of like a clear sign. And I'm like, no, guys, you don't get it. Like, he still talks about wanting to see me. Like, he still is like making conversation. Like, obviously there's some interest there. So we go on this third date. This third date went phenomenally, by the way, was almost 10 hours long. And no, we weren't doing what you're thinking. It was 95% talking. And because the date was so long, like, he picks me up at 6 o'clock, drops me off at almost 4 a.m. I'm like, oh, signed, sealed, delivered, baby. This guy likes me. He is so into me. Like, after the third date, I was certain, and he texted me at like 4:15 a.m. like, hey, I got home, like, had a great time tonight. I'm like, oh, yeah, he likes me. Never be too certain, girls. Never be too certain, because you will just be setting yourself up for disappointment. So after our wonderful 10-hour date, the texting got even worse. And I didn't know that was possible, but it was possible, all right? The texting just got so inconsistent where I was just like, all right, I'm gonna just ask him what his intentions are. And I was like, hi, I just like need to ask, like, what are your intentions with me? Like, what are we? I need to know. And I know that Joey had like gone through some trauma in the past. So I was like, those feelings, like, I'm thinking to myself, maybe those feelings are resurfaced. Like, I don't know. Again, like, I still don't know too much about his life, so I couldn't make like total correct guesses, but I was having ideas like, oh, he's struggling. I want to be there to help him. Yeah, so let's just say his mental health struggles weren't what I thought they were. He answers me like a day and a half later, but of course in my delusional mind, I'm like, oh, but at least he answered me. He's like, I know it's last minute, but are you free tomorrow night? Like, I want to meet up and like talk about things. Like, I owe you an explanation. And I'm thinking, oh, he's finally going to tell me like what he's been going through. And in my head, I'm like, okay, he's going to tell me he likes me and wants to pursue things with me, but he's been distant because he's going through X, Y, and Z. I was so prepared for that. So he picks me up and everything is going normal. I'm like, okay, things are going well. This night is going to end well for me. I'm not going to end this night in tears. So we're sitting there and some lady is like walking around selling a bouquet of these like colorful light up roses. She comes up to our table. She's like, do you guys want, like, you want to buy one for your beautiful lady or something? And my first thing was like, oh no, it's okay. He's like, how much are they? He insisted on getting me that rose. He like hands the lady a 20 for like one rose, and I'm like, wow, big baller. I thought he was trying to like impress me and whatever. Yeah, no, again, never be too certain, girls. Never be too certain. Okay, so dinner's going well. I mean, it's very comfortable and like just the same as it's always been. Good vibes. Like, I'm like picking off his plate, trying his food. Like, it's just things are going well. We're walking along Las Olas, you know, things are going great as usual. And we get to the bar he was talking about and it had closed down. But luckily right next door was this like random bar and he's like, let's just go in here. So we go and we have a drink. So finally I say to him, I'm like, Joey, it's like, it's time to talk. Like, what are your intentions? So then Joey goes, no, like, what are your intentions? I'm like, no. Start talking right now. And he goes, I don't want to ruin the night. Like, we're having a good night. And I'm like, oh no. My heart sunk right there and then. He took me out on a date to dump me, to tell me that he is not over his ex. And that all of his mental health struggles have just been him reminiscing on the past and him not being over his ex. I was crying for this guy, hearing that he's going through stuff. Like, I'm such an advocate for mental health. Like, you know what's not hot? When a guy cries over another girl in front of you, which is this guy. He starts tearing up. Literally, I wipe a tear from his eye. How desperate could I be? Oh my God. I literally wipe a tear from his face. So he's sitting at the bar, tears swelling his eyes, streaming down his face, telling me that, you know, he's just not in the place to give me what I deserve, and he hates that it has to be me because I'm the exact type of girl that he should be with. And it's not that he doesn't like me or that he's not attracted to me. He's just not ready. It took him, and now the time frame from our first date, which was February 11th, until that was April or March 30th or something, so about a month and a half. He strung me along for that long. And wait, guys, it's not even like, okay, you would say, well, he had the decency to tell you in person. No. This was not my boyfriend. This was not my husband, where, you know, you have to communicate your feelings and you owe women the decency to say things to their face. Like this, what he said to me could have been said in a text message. In his mind, he thinks he did the right thing by taking me out on this date, literally wine and dining me to dump me.
God, it seems like every single date she's gone on just seems like really good. But his textings are obviously really inconsistent and this doesn't seem good. Like, oh, is it gonna go bad? She just seems the most loveliest person. Like, you can just tell by her face. Love her eyeshadow. And she clearly, she's met this guy, had like a really close mutual friend. She was kind of warning her off him. And then now it's like, it doesn't seem like it's going very well. And his texting got very inconsistent. He's got mental health. Oh dear. But how would she, like, that's the thing, like, when you get your heartbreak from a date and like you think you're having like a really good time at the bar, like, how would you know that's gonna happen though? Because if they're giving you all these signs, apart from texting, like, okay, yeah, that's not great, but not many people are texters. I'm not a big texter myself, so it's kind of like an understandable thing, and they're going on these long dates and whatever. But how would she know that? And like, it's just really sad. I mean, so far it sounds like it's going well. So he really is pulling the wool over her eyes. Like, she does not have any clue what's gonna happen. But I don't know, my anxiety when he texted saying, oh, you free for tomorrow for a chat, that would really put me in a nervous position. Oh, that's really sad. So he basically just bought all these roses, took out to bars, did 10-hour dates, and he's just there like, I don't want to ruin the night. You just ruined the night, mate, with your words. Yeah, of course. If you're doing like 10-hour dates and you're doing like 4 chunky hour dates, like, you're gonna grow some feelings. Oh my God, that's so bad. When you get out of a relationship, give yourself some bloody time. Don't take people out on dates because you're just gonna break their hearts. That's completely understandable. If you know, if you like a girl and you're not over your ex, that's completely understandable. You're not calling it ugly, you're not saying this, you're not saying that. But you have just broken someone's heart, and you shouldn't have got back into a relationship with someone who, you know, I just don't even understand. I can't comprehend like what he's just done. He's just taken out on all these dates, picked her up, not texting her, doing this, doing that, L-bombing her basically, thinking she likes her. And then he turns around and he just says like, sorry, I'm not over my ex. And she's there like wiping his bloody tear off his face. No, trash, get in the bin.